I received your two scenes that you sent me for additional review to critique. So let's start with this one. I did look through it, but let's take a look once again together, kind of together, right?
No way! This year, this is a twosome. Not one, not three, dose. Two. Got it? No way! This year, this is a twosome. Not one, not three, dose. Two. Got it? No.
Okay, so I'm trying to figure out what is your workflow, and I can't, because it looks like every pose that you did is kind of independent. Because I assume this is in auto tangents, because here at this point it kind of moves smoothly, but then I just can't figure out what was going on. It is very chaotic. It doesn't have any plan, I would say. I don't know. I don't know how to think about your workflow. I would like to know that, how you are, working on your scene. It is very disappointing that I still see parts of animation or scene where the hips are still not working, where just body parts are moving but hips are frozen. That should not be case. The torso is also not working. So I'm not gonna go throughout the whole scene talking about it, because I've been talking about it whole last month and now already almost like a half of this month. Actually, yes, half of this month. So that's something that you have to understand, and you have to start following those instructions. That's important. But let's see, just for fun, let's follow this arm. What is the line of action? What is the path of action? What is the arc here? Okay, going this way. All right, then here. And then there. Now we go there. Now we go down. Now we go up. And that is all happening like in a split second, because from 19 to 32, that's like a half a second, right? So no wonder why everything looks like he's like doing this. And seems to me that all this is caused because you're not following the instructions. And what instructions were? You asked me if I think that you should pretty much start from scratch, and yes, I told you that in the email, right? Because that's why I did animate it roughly, of course, very roughly, the scene for you. And I can't see these poses here. The poses that I was making, I don't see them here. Because I was talking about moving holds, right? So once when you hit the pose, the character should exist. It should be there and act even in that pose, but not really going into another major pose. That is moving hold, but there is no moving holds here. the character is moving all the time crazily fast. So from here you go this way, more, and then woo to the left, and then up, and then this way, and then down, and then up on the side. So I'm just wondering, why would you think that's going to work? And all this, as you can see, from 19 to 36, it's 27 frames. That's pretty much 3 frames more than a second. It's a second, and all this in a second. What is a second? It's really in real life. You know, we say, "Oh, it's happened in a second," because that means it happened quick. So yeah, that's the major problem here, that I don't see. I don't remember this, for example, in my blocking animating for you. Now, I'm not saying that you cannot use it. It's just telling me that you were not really following what I was saying, at least not throughout the whole scene. You were asking if he has this arm too long on his hip. Possibly, yes. And if you notice that it feels it's too long, you don't have to hold it there for long. That's not a law. There is no, nobody's gonna arrest you if you try to figure out a better pose, right? So nothing is really written in the stone. It's all about feeling, and it's all about what looks the best or better. So once again,
No way! This year, this is a twosome. Not 1, not 3.
Look at that.
Dose. 2. Got it? No.
He's all over the place. And he starts opening his arms here, right? But then he kind of like changed his mind, and then the arms are going, they stop for a moment, kind of going in, and then goes open, then close, and then open again here. And I was not doing that. So let's take a look here what I blocked. Yes, it is very fast. The drawings are crappy, but I think they can get a message across, how it should look. So let's take a look. Again.
No way! This year, this is a twosome. Not 1, not 3. Dose. 2. Got it? No way! This year, this is a twosome. Not 1, not 3. Dose. 2. Got it? No.
See that? It is much clearer what's going on, I would say. Okay, maybe that's gonna work. Again.
No way! This year, this is a twosome. Not 1, not 3. Dose. 2. Got it? No way! This.
But he said, no way. Where is it now? Yeah. Yeah, like that pose before. It's so hard to. It's skipping some poses. Like that one, right? No, before that. can't really. Interesting. It just skips the pose. That one, for example, right? No way. It's it stays there for a bit, and let's it stays from here to there. I think it stays 14 frames. It says there actually 14 frames. This one is 5 frames. So for each of these poses that I did, actually there is a number of frames that should be on the screen. If this is 14 frames, yeah, probably need a few frames to get into the pose, to stop it or whatever, maybe 2-3 frames or so, but at least 10, 12 frames, you can have it on the screen in a moving hold. Again, I'm talking about moving hold, and I don't see that at your place, And then he moves forward, then he goes back. Now at this point where he's back, that's a kind of like at the same position, but he's just shaking his head left and right. So this will be like a anticipation for going forward. Not 3, 2, dos, 2.
Got it? No way. This year, this is a twosome. Not 1, not 3, dos, 2. Got it? No way.
So you were supposed to do these poses, and then you could ask me for critique. So if these poses, they are like the foundation of your scene. If these would work, then you can go forward, right? Then you can add additional, maybe here or there, a key, and then basically switching to auto mode and getting breakdowns. Breakdowns are crucial for any scene, right? Converting in-betweens into the breakdowns. Not all, of course, some. But this is, start where you have to start with this. This is foundation of your scene. And when I'm looking, your animation here, I just don't see that.
No way. This year, this is a twosome. Not 1, not 3, dos, 2. Got it? No.
You see, the hips are not moving. You're just moving the torso in the core. You start with the core here, and then you just move it, the whole torso. Although it would be much better if you would use these controls individually, and then you would get, more flexible movement. Also, I was talking about silhouettes. What kind of silhouette would this be if you have a hand positioned like that? Because why we are talking actually about silhouettes is about clearness, right? Is the pose clear to the audience? In order for pose to be clear, it has certain things as a silhouette, line of action, and so. Each of these poses will be actually relatively short on the screen, and we have to make sure that that audience will recognize what we are trying to say with that pose. Now, if we are testing this pose about silhouettes, what that means that the character should be completely black, right? So let's see. What do we see here if the character is completely blacked out? You see what we see here? Nothing. It's just a blob because there is no any negative space between, here is getting better a bit, but still, if this hand was actually, as I was showing you, if this hand is like this here, it is so much more clear, because even if you look at this pose in a silhouette, it's still very, very recognizable that actually is you see that so clear because of negative space around. So that's one of the things that you have to start using and thinking about it. Here, for the longest time, his hand is in front of the torso. So again, let's black it out to make a silhouette. What is he doing? Is that clear to you what's going on here? I don't think so, right? Now here you are rotating hips. What about head? Why is head frozen? And then, boom, it moves from here to there in an instant. What about slowing in, slowing out? What about timing? Every movement from one key to another key, if you are in auto tangents, should have slow out and slow in. You see, just like at this point, right, it moves the fastest, but you have to accelerate and then you have to decelerate. Like you are parked on a parking lot, and you have to move your car. Somebody told you, sir, you are not parked correctly. This is only for handicapped people or something, right? Please park here. So what you're gonna do? You're gonna like, right? Of course. But that part of the travel, you have to accelerate, and then you have to, in order to stop, you have to decelerate. Gonna slow in and stop. Here you get faster, boom, and then you stop. So this is pretty much essence of timing. Slowing in, slowing out. Now when I'm looking at this character, look how broken he is. His spine goes this way, and then you rotate forward, and then you get this. The character looks like he fell off the tree. He broke his spine. It doesn't have a clear, line of action. If you really want to push him forward, like he's leaning forward, then it has to start with the hips. Hips should be rotated back. See? You see how much better he looks now, with his spine making the nice curve, and him being pushed forward, right? Because, where we were, that is kind of like a broken pose. Now here you are moving his hips. But what about torso? Who's gonna move torso? So I can talk like this till tomorrow. I'm not gonna go from pose to pose because again, it is why there is no connection. I don't think that also the hand would be on the hip if elbow is pushed so much back. The elbow should be somehow more here forward, not the forward, but on the side of the character, right? In order for this to look more appealing, more pleasing, right? We have to feel that actually this hand is really kind of leaning on the hip, right? That's the whole purpose. That's why he does it, to lean over. Now again, is that arm there too long? Possibly. So choose one part of the scene where you're gonna, push it in, and then for the rest, I mean, you can, take the hand out. He can hold his hand and arm maybe like that. Also here at the end, that looks strange too. If maybe with the better posing, he would look more convincing. That you see, it looks better, I would say, right away. What is better, this or that? This wrist looks like broken. Which one? Here he looks like menacing. Here, not so much. You could also maybe push him forward. Why not to push him forward? Hips forward. Maybe he can still have arms like that, if you like that, on the hips. Or maybe he can, you can push him forward, or even here, maybe like, come on, man. But if you push this pose forward, with the arms, yeah, there are so many possibilities. It's, after all, you are an animator. You have to choose final version that you like the most. So that is about this scene. You simply have to kind of start here, following the work process, the workflow, and then you did send me another scene, but we did work on this one. So let's take a look.
Yes, I just come to the same conclusion. Please present Professor Fury's compliments to Jock McCannon and tell him that his practice is a bloody shambles. Yes,
So we worked on this scene for a whole month, and I remember having hard time to get through for you to follow it exactly. I animated, I sketched, and I, so at a week 4 as a final, I did my critique, right? And then I gave you final grade. So I don't see that you were really following that critique. Now you're asking me for additional critique, although like I said, I did critique your week 4 of last month. I did it. Just open that video and take a look. I'm not gonna critique now once again, because it is already critiqued. Here, I would say he is probably going up and down a bit too much. Just make it a bit less so that intensity of that up and down is smaller. Here, it really looks like only arms are moving, and that's a question that I've been asking now for 7 weeks. 6 weeks, to be precise. 6. This turn in with the head, as a pose, it doesn't look bad, but when you play it,
please present Professor.
It's so fast that there is no really reason why that would be there. You see that? It just kicks in and then moves on. Boom. Boom. Why?
Professor Fury's compliments to Jock McCannon and tell him that his practice is a...
Also, once again, when this arm is going there, when you place this hand down, this arm is already bended. It shouldn't be. When this contact happens, this arm should be stretched first. So shoulder should be here, and all of his body would be a little bit more upward. And now from contact and the straight arm, we go into bend. Squash and stretch, one of the 12 principles, right? Right? So now it works like this, see? this arm is still moving all over the place. It shouldn't. When it lands somewhere, it should stay there. Now here the question is, why is he doing this if there is no any change in his body? Because if you look my sketches that I gave you last month, he went from pointing like something like this, where he's pointing forward, and now he has to lift his arm up and to hit the table, right? So now he has to go in some kind of anticipation, and yeah, this would probably work. You know, he has a bend on his back. So from here to there, that's anticipation. Anticipation, right? Squash. You're squashing before you're gonna stretch him. But you know, he should go from that into, yeah, you don't have it, because he was supposed to be with this arm here. So when I'm saying you're not following instructions, you're not, because it's not really that hard to follow sketches that I provided. It's not that I was just talking. I was trying to illustrate what I was saying, right? So boom, boom, boom. See that? Starting anticipation up. So once when this elbow hits the top position, now he's switching to it doesn't look like he's gonna hit anything with this kind of arm, with this kind of elbow, you know. Okay, my drawing is not the best, but you see the rotation was in X, right? You rotate back. So as the arm going forward with the elbow, that's a classical overlap, right? The arm is going forward, the wrist is going back. So if he is here, he could have actually switched that a bit sooner. Between here and there could have been another pose. See that? Boom, boom, boom. So we are looking for strong, line of actions. Squash. Getting into the stretch. Look at that. Boom, right? And now he's going down. And I told you that here you have too many poses. You are slowing down. Also, you're going down with him just as the body is going down, the arm is going down. That should kind of be opposite. Even if you go up to, for example, here with him, at the moment when he hits, and there shouldn't be more between, you have quite a bit of poses that are slowing down the motion, right? So, you know, when he hits this table here, you know, you can go in opposite with the head, right? So the hand that is hitting the table is going down, the body with the head is going up. So we have a counter animation, and that always looks good. So between here, this is your position, right? You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, finally hit 5 poses. And I'm having, look, this one, boom, next one. There is nothing in between. So from here, when we are looking spacing, right? Boom, next one from here to there. There is no in-betweens. If this one is whatever, 176, this 176, this one is 177. Boom, boom. The slowest part is here on the top, right? And then he starts accelerating. And there is no slowing in before the contact with the table. And you said, give me critique, but I gave you already how many times critique about moving everything, and you still don't do that. See how this is so visible that as this hand is going up, this one is going down. Why is that? Because you're just grabbing one control here and you rotate the whole thing at the same time. So you were lifting this hand up by rotating whole torso. That is completely strange move. This hand also should be, you know, at a place where should stay a bit, you know, it shouldn't slide all over the place. So again, you should go to the video, to the critique I gave you for your last submission, week 4. When I gave you last grade. And try to implement those notes. All right? Well, about this one, again, you have to start with a basics. And then layer by layer by layer, adding more layers, getting towards the finals. You can't skip. Seems to me that you were trying to add some poses, but you didn't get rid of the other ones from the old, so there is no way that Maya can connect that. That's just a mess, right? Okay, that would be all for today. I think it was quite a long video. All right, see ya.